So we drove up to the river today to do a little gold panning. Got all my equipment here. We actually had to, I don't know if you can see my truck way over in the center of the screen there. We had to paddle across the river in a kayak and then haul all of our gear up over all these boulders here. And we're just trying to get to a little spot back here. I came up earlier this week, did a few buckets right over here actually, and found, decent gold for up here, which everything is real small on this river that I have found so far. Nothing, a 32nd of an inch, if even that, is like a big piece. But I'm just gonna try. We came up to escape the 100+ degree weather in Central Oregon, so we came over. We're a little west of where we live, about 2.5 hours. But I'm thinking I might try. We got a lot of big boulders here. We're on the inside of a corner. I think I'm gonna try right up in this area. I brought the metal detector, but the stuff is so small here that my metal detector isn't the right kind for detecting gold. So it hits off signals, but I think it's just picking up the black sand and stuff here. So we're gonna see what we can find. I already did one pan that I got a hit with the metal detector, but it was, I don't know if it's a piece of metal or something, because this area has been logged over at least once before. You got old stuff like this, tin cans and stuff all over the place, plus anything that's brought down in the flood. Like there's another can over here, aerosol can, so, or high water, I guess I should say, not the flood. But we're gonna give it a try around a few different spots. I know there's gold right over where the chair is there, but I want to try and find some of the stuff that settled out before it got to that chair area. So we're gonna try just up here a little bit, see what we can find, see how the gravels are, if they're packed or not. But you can see even up on the bank here, all this stuff in the trees is all part of the old riverbed too. Like it's all rounded rocks. So it almost looks like someone was digging in there, unless that's some animal. But it wouldn't surprise me if someone was digging in there. Digging under this massive Doug fir. It's probably 3 feet across at least, which I guess isn't super massive, but it's pretty big for already been logged over once. So we're gonna get to it. If I get a pan with some stuff that you can actually see in it, I'll show it to you. Otherwise, we'll kind of just do a little bit of clips here and there throughout the day. It's probably like 9:45 or so. So we'll see what happens. All right, we'll see you in a bit. All right, so one of us found a good spot already. Well, you probably can't see that. Well, you can see that in there. There's a couple pieces right there and up there.
There's probably way more.
And there's a bunch more, but they're all covered up right now.
Yeah. There's one there, one there, one there.
Those are substantial size right there, though.
And there's a few there, and then
we'll lose them. So we're gonna probably concentrate on that little spot over there.
Let's just tell them this is my very first scoop.
And that's her first scoop. She asked me if she should pan the overburden or not. I said I pan everything, and that's what was. She did flip one rock, and that was what was underneath. So we're gonna move down there and try and knock out some dirt. And she's gonna get some pictures for her Instagram, Twitter, whatever she does. But yeah, that's a good pan right there for one pan worth of dirt. So we're gonna move down. I got the metal detector right there. She's just at the corner of the bend here, and we're gonna just move all of our equipment over there. Well, we'll leave most of it, just bring the buckets, I guess, and gloves. And we're moving down there, gonna see what we can find down there. See if we can get some more good pans like that. And I mean, this is the public panning area for this river. And we're just gonna try and do what we can to find good gold. So we'll keep you updated. All right, so we're gonna just start moving some of these rocks that are in this general area here to try it, because that's the one little spot she dug so far and got the few pieces of gold. So we're gonna just move some of this stuff. I got you on the head mount. I hope it is gonna work okay, but we'll see. Try and get as much of this dirt off these rocks as I can. Actually, that looks like rust right there. Maybe some metal in the rock. Oh man, it's heavy, that's for sure. I know the other day when I came, I was sore for like 3 days because I was not used to doing this kind of stuff. Oh, I shouldn't whine on video. I'm not whining, I'm just stating the facts. But we're gonna go up to probably this big rock here and right around here over to there, and that's gonna be it for just to see if the gold is good here, and we're gonna just dig it all as deep as we can, I guess.
So I see these rocks.
Yeah.
Do I just take them out?
No, you leave them in because they got all that dirt on them. You want to rinse all that dirt off of them when you wash them in the river, because that's what's going to have some of the gold in it. And I'm almost thinking the gold right here is coming down from up on this bank up here and just slowly coming down, because that's the old river rocks right there. I found another spot down way around the corner that has massive piles of rocks, but there's no little stuff, no little gravels in there. So I was gonna just try and metal detect that on the way out, see if there's anything there. Probably shouldn't do it on the way out, maybe at lunchtime. So I still have some time if there's anything good. Oh, the dog's going crazy. Probably sees a fish. There's probably a squirrel across the river. Yeah. All right, so we got it pretty cleared off. I'm gonna probably just fill a bucket and go down the river and pan it. So
That wasn't just like a...
yeah, a fluke thing. We'll see
yeah.
on this second pan. We'll update you when she gets done with that one. All right, I don't know if you can see, this is my first pan. I actually got like a very, very, very good pan. I actually got a pretty good sized flake right there in the middle. And that was literally like basically a shovelful from right there. Probably took me 3 shovels to get it, but it's a shovelful of gravel right off the top. And that is not bad. Sharon's panning her pan still. And I'm expecting, if she's in the same dirt that I'm in, and well, we're both in, that she found, that we're gonna do pretty good. So I'll update you. I don't know if I'll get a picture of hers when she comes up or not, but I'm gonna skim. No. See you guys in a little bit. So I just got my first real flake. I was gonna try and call it a picker, but it's not. The thing is, so it's like paper thin, but it's the biggest chunk that I have probably ever found, especially on this river. Typically you don't find anything because it's a public like panning area, so like you're limited on quantity of stuff you're gonna find unless you really look in different spots. Like probably most people wouldn't go 15 feet up the bank, dig a couple little tiny holes and try and find some gold. But this is actually in this gravelly material here that I took one scoop out of there, and that's what that's from. So I'll Sharon's just down there panning a pan right now. Dog's over here relaxing. It's nice. It's probably 80 degrees out, but it feels good because there's a breeze. So we're gonna keep going, see what we can find, and hopefully get a decent pile of gold at the end. We'll get back to you in just a minute. So just doing a little classifying now of the material, since it's difficult to get to because there's so many bigger rocks now. We're getting down to the bigger stuff. So just kind of classifying. Gonna do a bucket, take it down the river, see what we find in it, and kind of go from there. But as you can see, one little scoop at a time. Got a crowbar and stuff to try and get some of these bigger rocks out that are jammed in here, which is what you want, because that means they haven't moved in a while. Like that is nice and coated in mud, which is probably where our gold is coming from, the mud layer. Can't be 100% sure, but seems like it, because we dug down a little deeper and ended up like only getting a couple little tiny flakes that were probably in a little bit of the top stuff that was there left over. So, but we're gonna see what we can get. But this is just the time-consuming, tedious part of gold panning that not everyone shows you doing. Some people show you having to move all your rocks and the real gold panning. How backbreaking is this? Someone's already complaining it's backbreaking.
Well, it's a lot of bending down.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
what are you gonna do? Dump that bucket into your pan?
Well, we'll shovel out of the bucket into our pans. I might actually dump it in one of those smaller buckets to bring it down the river. Yeah, just gonna wash off some rocks, dig up some of this dirt.
Rocky.
See what we can find.
Okay.
Hopefully, some big chunks. Which, I mean, this has been a pretty good spot so far. This is what I found in a whole day by myself out here digging in one spot. Granted, I probably only did 5 buckets, but I didn't find near as much as today. So that's good. That means the gold just hadn't made it as far as I was downriver yet, around the corner. So. But yeah, this is just the time-consuming spot in panning is getting all this stuff. But there's still gravels in with this clay down here, so I'm hoping there's still some gold in there and hopefully some big ones. But we'll catch you guys after we get this bucket full and maybe do a pan together and see what we get.
You're probably gonna hurt yourself.
Probably. We still have it on video. No. No such luck. Now probably this pile of rocks can be just thrown aside because they're all pretty loose.
You had a good, yeah.
And everything under it. Look at that.
Go take a dip in the river. You're all sweaty.
Sweating. It is warm.
It actually feels good.
Huh?
Actually feels good.
Yeah. I might later.
Goodbye.
Alright, we'll see you guys in a little bit. So it's later in the day now. We're getting ready to leave. We ended up clearing, that's probably from that rock to that rock is about, maybe 8 feet or so. And about from here to there is probably about 4 or 5 feet or so. And we only took off like maybe 4 or 5 inches of material. We dug down in a couple spots and it's just all clay and no, you might find one speck that was remnants left over from the black sand up on top, but now we just got to cover this back up, get it back so it's not super noticeable, and get all this stuff loaded back to the truck. I do have one bucket here of classified dirt. It's maybe 3/4 and it's only a 2.5 gallon bucket, so there's maybe 2 gallons. I'll split it up into this bucket here, the yellow one, and we have a bucket of concentrates of all the smaller stuff that we didn't want to suck up with the bottle, snuffer bottles, just because. But yeah, it's getting it's still sunny, but it's gonna be getting late. We got a 2.5 hour drive home roughly, so we got to get this stuff packed up, boat back across the river and get back on the road so we can get going. And we did pretty good. There was quite a few bigger pieces of gold in this area right here, so I mean, we're gonna probably be coming back because this is a good spot. I mean, there was gold in every single pan, whether it be 2 little tiny pieces or 10 bigger pieces. Every pan had gold. So we're gonna get this stuff all back home. We'll throw our snuffer bottles into a pan and show what each of us found for the day, and we'll get this thing up on and you guys can take a look at it. I mean, it's still hot here. I'm sweating just standing here, and it's cold in the river but hot out of the river. So we're gonna get this stuff packed up and get back to you guys with a kind of a wrap up of what we got for the day, not counting the bucket. Obviously we're not going to mess with that right now, just what we snuffed up in our snuffer bottles. So we'll see you then. Okay, so we just got home from the gold pan. Careful, it's got water in it. So I actually, before I remembered to grab the camera, I dumped mine out of the snuffer bottle into here. Just barely dumped it out and rinsed it. I didn't do anything to the pan, but you can see a few pieces.
Is this supposed to do this?
You gotta just pull on your, like, tip that sideways. Yeah, there you go. So now she's gonna dump hers and rinse everything. Oh, dunk it under and suck up some water and swish it around in there, like upside down. Like if you, yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, should be good. Oh look, all your gold didn't spit out, went back in the bucket like you thought it might.
I got some gold.
There's still some in there. So, I mean, it's tough to tell, but I'm getting a lot of reflection off the pergola here outside. But it's still probably, well, the thermometer on the shed back there says probably 95, but it's in the sun, like the sun's beating on it, so it's probably like 80. But we just, I mean, we sucked up a ton of black sand with the dirt, or with the gold, just because of going quick, trying to just get the gold, the bigger stuff that we could see out of the pans. But like, I got a few good flakes in there, you can see. But yeah, I got a ton of water in mine too. Probably too much.
Wait, you got more than I did?
I already dumped. No, you just gotta go. Here, we'll dump some of your water into mine. No, we'll do the same the other way. Just kind of get it all to the corner, and then kind of get it I know you can't see. It's hard to see even with the GoPro. It's so you just buried it all. You gotta get that black sand back a little.
Still?
Not too hard. But for us, especially someone who hardly ever has the time to get stuff,
No, that's not
to
too
be
bad,
able
I
to
guess.
like actually get, it's hard to get a good angle because that reflection. But I mean that's a good quantity for the afternoon. I mean, we didn't stay
Wow,
super
plus
long.
whatever's in the,
Although
all
some,
the little
plus
stuff, probably.
we got this bucket of black sand basically with a bunch of littler gold in it.
Oh, plus there's a bunch over here.
Yeah,
Little,
I know.
little.
What we'll do is we'll suck it up, the gold minus a lot of that black sand, and then we'll do that a couple times, and then we'll show you again what we got just to make it easier. So we'll just be back in a second. Alright, we'll go with mine first here. I mean, I got a couple of decent sized flakes. I know it's hard to see with the glare, but got most of this black sand out of there. There's still like a pebble right in the middle there. A little bit of black sand left, but there's a couple flakes down in here. But like, that's a pretty good flake. There's a couple of good flakes there. Then over to Sharon's. It's hard to see hers too. The glare is bad, but she got a pretty good row or smiley face of gold there. It's probably blurry as anything, but there's a couple little flakes on the sides. But she did pretty good for probably, how many pans did you do? Like 10 maybe? Pretty much every pan had gold, every single pan, which doesn't happen ever when I go panning anyway. She just happened to find a good spot that had a lot of gold, so that's it. We'll get this stuff. There's no sense in trying to weigh it, because I tried to weigh some yesterday or a couple days ago, and it wasn't enough to even move the scale. So I mean, this probably could move the scale, but
Well,
it's not a whole lot.
I'll add it up, maybe.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know if I'll weigh it or not. Probably not, but that was a good day out on the river. We still got this bucket of black sand and small gold that we just dumped off because we only picked up the bigger stuff in our snuffer bottles. We got those 3 buckets there. The paver set one is nearly full. The other one is, the other big bucket is half, maybe, not quite. And then we got the other one on the other side that's like a gallon sized bucket, and it's nearly full as well. So we got a little bit left to do. Hopefully we can find something in there. So that was a good day on the river. Kept cool. Still hot right now, but it's nice and breezy, so it's good. All right, we'll see you on the next one.